you're always going to have to deal with poor customers from time to time. And I'm here at a customer right now, and they're rude as could possibly be. So I did a inspection on my empty trailer, and it didn't pass my inspection. So I went back into the shipping and receiving office and asked them, "Can I get a different trailer?" And they said, "No, that's not their problem." You know, uh, basically, they just want you off the lot. They don't care what the problem is. So, what I did was I was hooking up to the empty trailer, and their cross members were bent. And my next load is a heavy load of rolled papers. It's going to be real heavy. 45,000 pound load easily. And they're going to inspect the trailer, and they're going to look for bent cross members. Well, this trailer has a bent cross member, so I know it's not going to pass inspection. It would be okay for other loads like potato chips or paper towels or something like that, but if it's a real heavy load, they don't want any bent cross members. So the trailer's not going to pass inspection, and where I'm at right now won't let me exchange trailer, even though they have 20 other trailers on their lot. And they're just rude. They're very rude, and you're gonna have to. I didn't get upset with them or anything. I mean, I was disappointed for sure. It would have been better for me just to change trailers and get a trailer that didn't have a bent cross member, but I'm not going to get that kind of cooperation from this customer, which is fine. You gotta play the averages in trucking. You're not always going to have a good day every single day. It's just like playing baseball. A good hitter only is successful 30% of the time. So you're not going to have every day be a profitable day. There's going to be days where you broke down. There's going to be days where you got bad customers. There's going to be days when you're stuck in traffic. So, today's one of those days where you get treated like, you get treated like crap from the customer. It's so unfortunate because like today I was battling through holiday traffic to bring them this load um, that they wanted delivered, and then I need a trailer, an empty trailer to go pick up my next load. But they don't want to help me out. But yet you got to bend over backwards to get here on time. So that's the one way street a lot of customers are. You know, they don't really want to help the trucker out. They want their stuff, but if you have any issues with your equipment or your hours of service or anything like that, they just want you off the lot and they don't care what your problem is. So this was a bad customer. It typically, this company, I won't say who it is, but it's a large company. Typically, I don't have any problems with this company. It could just be the person, the person that's in the shipping and receiving. Sometimes they could tell you no, but do it in a very nice way. And then other times they tell you no in the rudest of ways. So today was the rudest of way, and it doesn't even faze me anymore. I've been driving truck for 10 years. This is just part of the job. Just like if the truck broke down, you're going to have to spend some money to get truck repairs. It's just, another day in the office. One day you drive 500 miles, the next day you got truck repairs, the next day you got customer issues. But over the course of a week, you probably have a decent week, or you may have a bad week. But over the course of a month, you'll have a decent month. You play the long game. And then it's like, well, you may have a bad week, you may have a bad month, you may have a bad quarter, you may have a bad year. But over 10 years, all this stuff averages out. So you got to play the long game. Just like the baseball season's very long, and you're going to have some days when you strike out, and other days you're going to hit home runs. Today was kind of like a strikeout. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the internet.